Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to work on these, and it's something that I saw Gayle do 2 to 3 years ago, maybe. It's been a while. What it was is I think this flipped around here. This was a small notepad. I'd made a note that I was supposed to glue right there. Starting off, it's a 6-inch square is what it is. So you took and glued these two sides, flipped it over here, put it down. Then you sewed a small notepad or glued it down right in this area. And then this part actually glued to the page like this. And it was a pocket. You had a pocket here. And then what this thing did was flip back and forth. Now, I'm not so crazy about that because I always felt like this would rip very easily. If this had, one too many pages on it, it was going to be too heavy. So we're going to remake this idea today. How about that? All right. And we're going to use scraps while we're at it. plus, win-win. And these are all from my butterfly journal. Everybody has named this the butterfly journal. Let me get it real quick. So I was pulling through a bunch of my stuff the other day, and I was pulling out things that was garden related or butterfly related, that kind of thing. So these are all going to go in here, but this is the little journal I'm talking about. I haven't quite put it together yet. I might get in here and do a little bit of stenciling on it. These are the little trays I bought to do my 3 most recent journal things, and when I find something I want to use, I put it in here. Like, I believe I'm going to use this on the edges, and there's a little bit of a hole there, and I'm going to thread that in it because that color is in the cover. But I think I was considering it a garden journal, but everybody's calling it the butterfly journal. So that's what it's going to be. So all of these were the cutoffs from that. And they usually will sit over there, and I'll make pockets from them or something of that nature. I have some of the mulberry paper. I have some of the mulberry paper in here. But what we're going to do is we're going to use some of these, and even if I use some, I'm still going to have enough to make a pocket at a later date if I want to. So those are sitting over here to the side. This was what I cut off the other day when I did those sailor hats. So remember me saying I had the crown, and then I had a couple of other pieces over there too. I think this is going to be the base for one of them. So I may put it down here where you can actually see the butterfly. And yes, we're resizing them, and we're going to rethink them is how I'm thinking I want to go. What I'm thinking we're going to do is to have the piece, this is almost 8 inches tall. It may be even more. I think it's 8.5. So I may have to cut this down just a little bit right in here somewhere. And then we're going to cut it. Yeah, we'll cut it down to 8 inches. Then we're going to have an 8-inch square situation. Like this is a 6-inch square. This will be an 8-inch square. And that will cover a good bit of one of your pages. Like you got a white page, this will be perfect for it. Then the part over here, instead of me doing one over here and having all the pressure and the stress being on this page, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to actually do both of them as a flip over here, change the thumb pull direction to over here, so they're going to be like a little floating double pocket. I'm not sure anybody's ever done one of these. This is just something, I was trying to rethink this and figure out a better way to do it. I even brought this around, I thought, at one point to have a pocket back here, but that's still leaving this one poor little guy being where all the stress would be. So we're going to do it this other way. Now, since I'm using scraps and I really don't have another piece of this, or a piece big enough for the 8 inches, we're going to actually make a hinge out of something here. Now, the pieces that are going to be the flips don't have to be that big. They could be a little shorter than the, what is it, 4 inches? Yeah, a little shorter than the 4 inches. So that would be fine. So we might want to just go ahead and I'll pull through here and see what colors I think all go together. And then the excess of these are going to be part of the notepad. Okay, I decided that I may do something else with this, especially with the crown. I may save that. I got into my Abandoned here. That's the 8x8 Tim Holtz pack. It's a paper stash. And there's this one here. Now, the one piece I'm going to do is for the butterfly journal. And this has got such beautiful colors. Look at all those colors. It's got sort of a teal color that goes through it. Like, especially this one. Look at it. That really, I mean, that one red is a little off, but I think I'm good with that. So we're going to make one of these especially for the butterfly journal. Then we get done with that one. We'll see if we got something else in here we can make one from. So let's get our pad or cutter up here. Right there, and we're going to do a score line. This is already an 8x8, so I'm on the money there. So we're going to go ahead and score this right in the center. And the way this is we'll need something. This is going to be glued down all the way. This part over here will be seen because it will have the two little pockets. And we're going to go ahead and already give it a burnish to get the score working. And yeah, so this part we'll see, this part will be covered, so that kind of takes care of a lot of that red. So that's working for me. This will be glued down. This part will be covered. So we're basically good. So let's pull this out and start working on this part. This one I went and sort of dyed it a little bit on the back because I was trying to figure out if I could dye these papers when I was working on them. I do not see any that's really as white as I need it. These are 3.5. I can always cut it and put a little bit on the edge, or I can do another color on the edge. I could do that. We have, let's see, these are all the mulberry papers. They're just going to go on the inside. I don't need them for the outside at all. I have my silverware. Let's see, I want something pretty. It's got to be something pretty. More than likely, I may just choose this one. And then put me just a little bit of something on the edge. Okay, so here's what I've planned to do. There's also offcuts that are this size, because when I take a 12x12, I'll usually cut the big piece off first. So I'm cutting it at 8.5. So that's why I have a 3.5 inch strip. Then I'll take the other that is a 12 inch and cut it down to 11. So it's the same as a notebook page, like a 8.5 by 11. So what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of trim this off really quick. We'll trim it better in a minute. This is going to be our outside piece. Since this is a butterfly journal, I'm going to go with it. Well, with these pieces, this will be the piece over here that's going to have the little tag that's going in and out. I'm going to glue this extra piece to it, just so it's a little stronger. So we're just going to run us some glue up through here and get this one down. We had a good day today. This is Sunday, Father's Day, and I went to town, and Mom had been telling me, and I forgot to get it the last time I was at Walmart, that he needed some t-shirts. So got him a big old bag of t-shirts like he likes to wear, those white ones. I remember that's what he used to always wear when he was out working. He was a brick mason for years and years. He'd wear them white t-shirts just so he wouldn't get so suntanned. And so he'd run out, I guess, and Mom told me he needed some. All right, and I'm putting this piece here. I like this pink with this. It's so neutral that you really notice the butterflies, in other words, because I tried several other pieces of paper here and they just didn't work for me. It did not work. So we're going to run this up through here. If you wanted, you could probably use a glue stick. I'm wanting to make sure it sticks really good, so I'm just going ahead with my wet glue and putting that on here. There we go. Get it over here close to the edge where it kind of cuts off that red. There. And then you're just going to get in here and trim this. I do want to get that excess glue off of it. Trim that. I hope everyone is having a very good day. It's always great to have a good day now and then, isn't it? So I hope it's going well for you. It's a Sunday here, so yeah, I hope your weekend went well. I know this will be a little bit inside the week, which is always the bad part, isn't it? After the week has started. All right, with this one, I have to figure out where the middle is, and then I got to figure out where I'm going to punch it. That's the tricky part with this one. So let me turn it around here. This is 4 inches. That is our middle. So, and this, is this smaller than 8? Wait a minute. I must have cut it a little smaller than 8, or this pad is smaller than 8. It lied. I know it says it's an 8 by 8 pad. Okay, well, since this is not quite 4 inches, I guess we could go up to here where his wing ends. Well, in that case, about 2 is about the center. So I'm just going to go with it right there. And then 6 will be the center, which will be this part of his wing. That's where we're punching it. That's what I'm measuring for. I'll get my puncher out here, and I'm going to just kind of center it right in there. Doesn't have to be too big. Yeah, and when you thicken the paper like that, that's where you're really going to get a good punch. Otherwise, when it's too thin, like that is almost actually still too thin. It doesn't punch well. So that's when you got to get in there and rescue it and do a little bit of the cutting yourself. Yeah, okay. Good enough, good enough. Okay. Then we're going to... Ooh. Yeah, I didn't cut that part. All right. Who else watches Yellowstone? Who else is mad about how they're doing it now? From what I understand, sorry, I hit the pole. I'm using some scorched timber on the edge here. I want to really get this edge delineated. So supposedly they're showing the remakes of all the old ones again. Okay, so I thought that meant they were going to get in there and have the new one coming out here later this fall. No, Roger tells me the new one is not going to be shown until sometime next fall, 2025. And Kevin Costner is not even going to be on it. So, what in the blue moon is happening? All right, I'm going to, well, I don't need to do that. I got to get me a piece of washi. I want to strengthen this. I don't want it to be having an issue here over time. So I'm going to give it some strength. And I love to use these washies. They're Scotch washi tape. I get them in Walmart in the craft department. And I really love them because they're a nice wide size. You've got all kinds of variation of colors. And like this one's got like a honeycomb on it. I love that. So we're just going to put us a little glue right here. And then we'll wrap it around and do it again on the back side. So yeah. And then they wasted all this time showing us stuff about that Jimmy. I am not excited about having anything. They wasted half of a show talking about Jimmy. Oh, I'm just... they had so many other things they could be talking about, right? We had the bombing. We had you know, whatever was going on with the ranch and the cattle. Now, what I understand was they were going to repasture these cattle down in Texas somewhere, and they're going to have to pay for the pasture. Well, because something happened on their land. There was some kind of a plant or something that was killing the cattle or making them crazy. I can't remember now. It was so long ago. I mean, they've had so many different versions of this going on. Okay, so what I need to do is really, really figure out where the bottom of this is so I can glue it. All right, is that right? I think that'll be right. So we're going to cut that off right here. Yada, yada. And I'm going to ink that. I didn't ink the bottom. And finish that off. There we go. Now I'm going to get in here. And the trick is you're going to have to do a glue line right in the middle of these two. So if you have a good eye, you can get in there and do it. If you don't have a good eye, you can mark a mark across there with a ruler, because this is sort of 8 inches. So 4 inches will be your halfway mark. So we're going to put that down right here. Kind of follow along that washi, but not quite. I'm working in just a little bit from the washi. All right, so I'm going to rub that down. And we go, oh, and I told you to do it, and I didn't do it, did I? Look at that. Right across there. What is it? Do what I think and not what I do? That's about what I want to tell you. Because, all right, let's try it again. Get this on here. Just a little shy of the last crease. Okay, now rub it down. Okay. If at first you don't succeed, what is it? Tell me in the description box down below. Comment box. Okay. Now. What do we want to do? We have our pad inside that we need to work on. I'm going to go ahead and cap this glue while we get our pages sized up. And that will be, I'll probably save that for a pocket. I love my chairs. I'll probably save that for a pocket. I'm just kind of using things that really don't have a rhyme or reason. I was going to use a little bit of the mulberry paper. This one, oh, this one has that behind it. Well, that could be cut down as well. All right, do we want them as long as 8 inches? Because this isn't. It's a little shy. So, let's get in here and do some cutting. Now, this is going to be for the butterfly journal, so do I want it to be that thick? I don't see why not. Let's go ahead and use as many as we can cut here. Maybe I'll do 4, and then I'll do some of the mulberry, because we might do another one. I'm not sure yet, but we might. So let me get this. I like that measuring tape. I like this green portion. I'm trying to plan what I'm going to have on here. I like the butterflies down here. Aren't you? They may be on the top. And then we'll go ahead and put this woman this woman thing in there. Okay. So that will be a good bit of them. And I'll cut the washi, not washi, the mulberry paper separate, because it's a little on the more delicate side. I'm trying to get these all lined up again. This one that I washed with that color on the back is kind of warpy. All right. We don't want 8. We want 7. Let's go 7.5. Okay. And those pieces could probably be used as pockets or part of a pocket. That kind of thing. And we're going to cut a few of these to go in between. And those will go also on here. I don't really need it for anything else, so we'll just put it in this. And that was also 7.5. Okay. And this is one way of using up your scraps. And then we also need, I'm going to pull this one over here. Wait a minute. That one's too big, isn't it? Yeah. I've got that journal, and I want to use it for something. But I'll hold it over here. I may be able to use it. But we need something to go at the top of our pad here. Is what I'm looking at. So we're going to do this. And this. I really like that measuring tape on there. I really got to check and see if they got more of this pad. Okay. You get it as close as you can. If you can't get it too close, that's all right. You're going to be hiding the edges, and if it's a little rough cut, that's all right. Okay. And then this one. Is that the last one? Yeah. Okay. So we'll put this one over to the side. That can go in the next one. Now what we want to do is, I think is how I've done it in the past, is to put it down like that and then fold it over to the back. Oh, I know how I did it. Okay. Now, do I want to have journal going down through here? No. That was quick. All right. If you got a stapler, get your stapler out. Because this is how we're going to do it. We're going to put this right up here along the top, edging it with all the rest of them. I'm going to make it just a little wider. Then you're going to cut it down afterward. But then what you're wanting to do is go ahead and staple this. Right here, as close to the top as you can get, that you're going to catch everybody. And you're going to do that 2 more times with this 3.5-inch piece. Try to get it about, that wasn't quite in the same spot, but it was close. Okay. I think those are as close as I'm going to get. All right. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your glue and you're going to fold this over to the back and let it make a natural fold right there, right underneath of your staples, you know, just like that. And then you're going to fold it over to the back. Yeah, I'm in screen. Then you're going to glue that part. You're gluing this right here against your staples. If you wanted to, you can stick a little glue in here. I know I need a little in there because that didn't go all the way out to the edge. So right in that area, you might want to put a little extra. All right. And then we're going to hold this down and converse with it to get it to stay there. Usually it only takes me a couple seconds for this barely arts to catch and stay. All right, now we're going to cut it. Cut this extra piece off. Cut that extra piece off. And there we have it. Now, in some cases, you wouldn't even have to go through all of that because you may staple it to the top and then fold your piece over the back. and then that gets glued down, so that would cover it as well. In this case, you can adjust where it's going to sit. I have that one piece right here that's just a little bit bigger than everybody else. So we're going to cut him off. He's a little better. All right, let's do that. Oh, I said I was going to make that one free swinging, double swinging. I didn't, did I? Well, all right. Maybe I get to the next one, I'll do it better. All right. Go ahead and put me a good bit of glue right there, right there. And then we're going to put it right here. Now the next one will make it a little different. I'll do it like I just did describe it. So we're going to get some little hooks and put into this. All right, I get my little hooks and put into here. And then we're going to let this kind of dry while we start our second one. Actually, I could spread that out and get a fourth one in there. All right, so that's going to dry first. And I still have to do some tags to put in the pockets, but that'll be in a second. Let's get in here and see what other color we want to do. Or do we want to do the same one? Now, that one's got some pretty kind of, that's not too bad. Because actually you cover up that. I like the ones that's got writing on them, which is most of them. This is the one I used on my other journal, the steampunk one. I put that on the back. I really like that color. Although I think I'm going back to this one because it's got some of that teal in it. So let's do this one. Get some of these out of the way. And we'll have to score it in half, which is 4. And do like this. Well, I was not quite folding like I wanted. All right. Now what I should have done with the other one is I should have cut it. Like once you figure out where this is going to land at the halfway mark, then you're going to want to see how actually wide it is. Now this one claims it's 8. I don't know what happened to the other one. So what we want to do is go down to the 4, since we definitely know that's 8. And we're going to cut a strip. We're going to sink the blade right there at the crease and go forward or go up, because that's going to make our 2 flaps like I should have did before. Remember? All right, let me see what I've got over here. Paper wise, like I had these 2. I don't have too many left, do I? Wow. I might have to use this one after all. Maybe I'll put that on there. Oh my goodness. All right. You can go through your scraps quick the way I'm doing it. That was quick. All right, I got a pink one there. I have one of these, which this is that handmade paper here. And I guess I'm just going to go ahead and use what I've got here. Why not? I'll go ahead and measure it to this end, and that's how we'll do it. We'll do it at 7.5. Or no, we'll do it a little bit. We'll do it at 7 3/4, because this time I'm going to flip it over the back to show you the different one to do. Now this one, I'm going to cut this at 7 3/4. Go ahead and use this one. And then we have, I don't know if these colors are going to go well. That's purple. I had a pink one. Let's just go ahead and do it. Oh, that chewed. Chewed it. Oh. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this one at 7 3/4 because I want to see if I can drape this down the front. Okay. These are all the pieces that's going in. I've already cut everybody else I needed. Let's get this out of the way. And we'll get all of these out of the way. And I really decimated the amount of scrap that I had left over, didn't I? Check it out. And that could be easily made into a smaller notepad. That is to say, if you like notepads. Some people don't. I can take or leave them. And I really don't like something that's bulky, you know, in my journal. I don't like to have that. That's for sure. Alright, let's see what we got going here. That kind of goes with that color there, doesn't it? I'm trying to see if I can put that underneath with the journal showing and then the butterfly on top, but I'm going to be cutting the crown. Okay, so the last thing I did was cut these. I do need to trim that a little bit because that's that blade must need to be trimmed a little bit because it's fraying a lot. Okay, that helped that. Let's see if we need to trim it a little bit here. This will just help us in the long run so it doesn't look so raggedy. Well, it's hard to maneuver in these little spots. Alright, got that. Now, we're going to take these two pieces. I actually dug down in there and found a couple more from a previous project. This side we need to reinforce, so we're going to flip it this way. And we're going to glue this on. I think it's about right there. So that'll make it easier for me. Okay. So right here. Hopefully I don't have the trouble I had the last time. And right here. There we go. Put that here. And glue it down. Cut it a little short, didn't I? It's alright. As long as the main edge is reinforced, that's all we need. So we're going to go ahead and cut that. Oh, right in the center. Let's do it this way. Let's see if we can outsmart it. That's always something to do, is outsmart your paper. So we're going a little bit farther past that. Ah, that did it. That did it. Yeah. Round 3 goes to Rhoda. Okay. Trim that off. And we are going to put a little bit of dark on the outside edge just so you can cover up the white core. And we have to get our tape on here and reinforce the crease. I forgot about that. Okay. So that part's done. I'll go in here and start this tape. Let's see what we need to do here. Oop, not that far. I went over too far. Since this is split in half now, it's not as easy to do. So, and all these little blocks that I pull out, that's because that helps that rip so much easier. You wouldn't believe how easy it is to pull that washi against that and just have it rip. I forget who I first saw do that. It was one of those tricks I learned early on when I got washi. And make sure it's the flat, creased. One of them's beveled and one of them's not. So you have to have the beveled, the non-beveled side. I'm sorry. Alright, so we're just going to put our glue flat onto the washi this time, because it's not quite as big as the other side. Alright, pull that over, and that's ready to go. And then if you want to burnish something that's just, like that, it's going to push that extra glue out. So, but it also pushes the glue into the surface of your paper. So it also helps in that aspect as well. So we're just going to do it on this side as well. And we're ready to put down our pieces, although the piece that has to go down first is this one with journal on it. I went ahead and cut that edge with that little pattern on it off, because I wasn't that crazy about it. And then this will go here, and just about where it's got the O and the U. And we'll go ahead and cut that in half. It looks straight, but it may not be. So we're going to put it down and see. This is more of a neutral colored one, so it could go in any book. I mean, it's not so neutral when you get on the inside with these certain colors going along here, but other than that, it's pretty neutral. Okay. I got a little bit of the bottom showing, but that's fine. Okay, this one I think wasn't quite big enough, so we're going to have to add another little portion to the other end. Okay. Just a small one. Like, we're just going to put this down and see if it'll help it rip. Oh, no. Let's glue it first. Let's see if that'll do it. All right. If you can rip it with your ruler, I don't see why you couldn't rip it with your little stamping block. All right, let's see. I gotta hold it really good. Yep, it worked. It didn't want to, but it did. Round 4 to Rhoda. It's a little crooked there, but I don't think anything's gonna matter. All right, then we're going to go ahead and put our pieces on the top here. I have to pull it down a little bit. I made them a little too big, didn't I? So, where's the ruler? Here's the other way you can rip paper. Is to use your ruler. And what we'll do is we'll size this one up where we want it to be. And then we'll take this one and cut it off as well at the same height. This is crafting on the fly. Crafting on the fly. Okay, now, who is the bottom? Okay, this is the top and that's the bottom. Let's go ahead and glue that down. Okay. I'm just going to go back here close to the end like I did before. That one was a little too far, so I need to go in a little bit with the glue. All right. There. Wipe that excess off. I must have miscalculated somewhere. That one's almost round money. Okay. Then the bottom, we're going to go up just a little bit. Yep, it looks about right. Dead eye even. Then we're going to get in here and trim. There was something that needed to be trimmed. This top side. Yeah. Let me pull it out because it's not cooperating. There. That did it. All right, now we're going to get our pad together. And get some things out of the way. All right, what do we want to start with? Since it's sort of a neutral palette, why don't we do this as our top? So we do that, and we'll do the purple, and we'll do the pink, another pink, and then the spoons, silverware, I think there's a little bit of everything there, and then this crazy paper, homemade paper, and then we'll do that one. All right, now what I'm going to do with this one, let me put a little clamp on it to kind of keep it together, either side, is I'm going to, okay, now I found another piece of this neutral paper over there, so I cut that to make it the front, just so it was all neutral shaded. Now, you don't have to worry too much about what your tops look like up here, as long as you have them pretty well even Steven with each other. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go flush to the top of this area here. I had this other little piece here that we're going to actually put down. We're going to turn it up backwards, not upside down, but backwards, and make it even with everybody else. Then we're going to staple it. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to go from end to end. We're just going to do it that way. And make it, oh, it's really close to the edge. Really close. Let me go in again. I don't want it to be that close to the edge. That's better. Oh, it would rip out and no problem whatsoever. Okay, going over one more. And then at the end, we're going to go as close as possible. There we go. Now, that part you fold up and fold it as even and straight across as you can. That part's going to come over to the back. And then this is going to fold down and cover up all of that. This is not being seen. This is all getting glued down to your paper. So it doesn't even matter how straight this piece is that you just trimmed off there. It doesn't matter. Now go ahead and do this first. Get it trained to where you want it to be. Get the fold in there. Then get in there with your glue. You can do a little bit right up here at the seam where it's going across. And then do all of that. Yep. Just like that. And then you're going to put it back over to where you trained it. And then just kind of rub it in. If you got a little rag or something, usually that helps. It also will pick up the glue that seeps out as you're rubbing it. But I always feel like it helps. These are just like those, the wet wipes when I wipe off my stamps. I save them. I let them dry and save them. And then I use them for the glue situation here. And then once this one's about gone, it's it's ready to take a walk. And then once that happens, I just kind of use it for like wiping off the nose of my fabric tack or something. And then it goes in the trash. That's about all I can do with it. Now I can take these off because they were just holding it still. There we go. It's hiding our little book. And then we got to make our tags. The other one over here, we might have to decorate a little bit too. We might want to decorate. So let's get our tags figured out. I think I'm going to go ahead and just use this again. And figure out what I need to put in it. This is a nice neutral one. It's got some purples. Oh, this might be good. Because I can put this in both of them. If I can get that many out of it. Because it's got a nice neutral back. Which can show up on this side. But then it's got a really bright one on that side. So let's see what our measurements need to be. Let me cap my glue because I don't think I need it for anything else here. Oh, I do have one other thing I might want to do to decorate the front. But we'll do that after I figure this out. So this piece, I think I'm going to just go ahead and this is an 8x8. I'm going to cut it at 4x4. I'm going to just do that so I'll have 4 pieces. So I cut them all at 4x4, but I know that's too big because the pocket itself is 4x4. Actually, that one's a little more than 4x4. So I know the glue will seep a little bit once you put it down. So we're going to go about right there and cut these two and see if they're going to work. They're still just a little too big, so I'm going to go in there again. Because you can see I got like almost 1/4 inch of glue there. And cut them down a little bit more. Alright, I cut them down another 1/4 inch. So let's see what we got. Oh yeah, you don't want to sit here and have to struggle with these things. So we're going to actually put our 2 ends together. And go ahead and cut us a tag shape. And have that all ready to go. I'm going to take one of these and actually hold it up to the other 2 for the butterfly one and do the same situation. So I got it all cut for this one. Let me hold this up for this one and figure out. It's got some really pretty colors. Really pretty colors. We'll just go on this side, have done with it. So I've got there to cut, here to cut, and then down the side to cut. Hopefully that's all I need to do. Let's see. You can also get in here, oh, beat my glue up, and round your corners. I always like to do that because I don't want it to be pointy and sharp. Sometimes they'll roll up. Sometimes they'll poke through your paper. You never know. So you want to take care of that. So yeah, these go right down in here. I'm not sure that you can consider these writable, but you can put you something on the back of them. It's not too dark. You could write on it. And it'd be your secret. Now see, they kind of stick out. I'm okay with that because that gives you a little thumb pull to pull these up with, which I'm happy to leave. And then this really bright, pretty, purpley, bluey one goes over here. And the same situation. And let me see. I need to see if there's something we can decorate. Now, Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy had given me, I'm going to be doing some envelopes here in a couple days or so. And she gave me these, and I think they're to decorate the front of your envelope flap. So I thought this one looks like it would do really, really well right here. See, it kind of goes around the thumb pulls, and it gives that whole piece something to decorate. And you can still see the butterflies. And then I thought the same thing over here, because it's actually got a delineation there where it actually cuts in half. So that could be cut in half. So I'm going to find me a paper that I'd like to use this with. Alright, I'm looking in this. This is a Pastels foil. It's from Michael's Recollections foil cardstock. And this piece I think will be perfect for the butterfly one. I'm not so sure about the other one, if I'm going to find one to go for that in here. So let's go ahead and use this scrap up. And that's why I always leave my scraps in the bags as long as possible. Because I can get in there and I can get what I want. And I'm not having to store them somewhere else. I know I'm wiggling y'all all over the place. Okay. Let's hope that in and out did the trick. It looks like it may have. Although I may have to peck at it a little bit. Oh, that's right. I'm going to have to cut this. Because the way this is created, it doesn't have a cut mark back in here. It just has a dotted line. And that's so you could put it on your envelope. Okay, so I'll set that over there. And let me dig for another piece. Alright, nothing else in that one worked. The green I'd already used up. That's the only color I thought would work. So I went for the gold foil. Okay, so I've got both of the pieces cut out. I went around that one edge and just kind of trimmed it. And, you know, it looks fine. And now we're going to go right down the center of this one. Because it goes over on this side. One half goes on the top and one half goes on the bottom. But it will look like it's a one continued piece. So we're just going to glue around the outside edge as well as possible. A little bit on the inside. Mostly your outside is what's important. Or little pieces that might look like they're going to come up. Okay. That's good. And then what it's going to do, it's going to ride that edge right there. And then it's going to kind of hug the thumb pull. Oop. I got to get that off. Let's kind of rub it while it's still wet. And it comes right off. Okay. And we're going to do the other side. Same thing, outside edge is the most important. Now these little nubs right there is what I'm talking about that might come up on you. And just get in here and curl a few inside to do the inside portion. Okay. Then you're going to meet it up. Careful. Yeah, you're going to meet it up, and then it's going to look like it's one continuous piece. Just like that. If I didn't mention it before, Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy gave me these, and I have yet to use them. This is the first time I've used them. Yay! Right, Tommy? Yay! But they're really neat. I've been wanting to do a few envelopes. I want to finish out the Subway journal. And one of the pieces I made for it the other day with the sailor hats, it already had a sailor hat in it. It did not work. So I was thinking, well, maybe I could make a few envelope kind of situations that would open and you could journal inside of them, and that would cover up those two places that I need to cover. It's a sugar bag, and it's sort of in the blue shade, so whatever I do would probably need to be in a blue colorway, because I think the paper across from the sugar bag is blue as well. Okay, we're going to dot in through here, get a few of these areas covered. With these glues, like Barely Arts and Art Glitter, you do have to move a little faster in the glue aspect of it. But, I mean, I know that Barely Arts gives you a little bit longer. I can tell you that. That is why it is my pick. Now, I need to do like a glue comparison video, because I did try a few out, and I can tell my likes and dislikes. And so these are done. I don't know that I'm going to put a word with them or anything. I don't know that they need it. It's kind of like they're just kind of a pretty, a visual art pretty. So here is how that one turned out. Like I said, this hugs the thumb pull. It doesn't overshadow it or anything. So the glue did not catch. But that purple really pulled out. That's in the tags. Then you pull the tag and it pulls this open, which this is going to be totally glued down. Now, if you didn't want to totally glue it, you can glue it and put something under here. And the way I've got it, I can put a little tiny thumb pull right there, so you knew there was something under there. But the colors, look how the colors matched in this one. So nice. This could be written on over here if you wanted to go with a more plainer piece than what I used. This would be the perfect place for the journaling to be done, or the journaling can be done on these papers. I know I put the pretty part up, but like solids like that, I call that a solid, could be written on. So this whole little journal could be a journaling journal or notepad journal, however you want to phrase that. And you can even put something secret back here. Nobody'd ever see that. So there's that one. That's the one I did first, and that's the one I forgot to cut apart, though I did glue them so they're two separate pockets. Then this one, I did cut it apart. So you have two movable parts here. And I really like how that worked out. I should have done it in the beginning. I forgot, of course. Oh, now as you can see, we have the two tags that really go with this neutral palette. It does have that little bright on the back, but I have the word journal back here, which I think is really cool. So the journal can be seen when you take the two out. You can also have the tags a little shorter, so they're flush or even below this, so they're not in the way. And then you open it and you've got a little bit of the green, just to give a little color. And then you got a nice neutral palette. And so, you know, you got that. I thought that would be a pretty top too, but I wanted to go neutral. And you have some brights under here. So, let me rip that off. So you have a few places to journal, or you can rip those off and use them in your, like you could give this to somebody with a journal, and they got those little pieces in there that they could use in their journal if they wanted to. Now, I really liked how the notepad turned out here, where it's flush at the top. It's a clean piece. This will not get messed up if you want to tuck something under here. This could also be reversed. So these flip open this way instead of this way. So you have all kinds of things to do with that. I don't know what to call it. Double tag notepad. I think that'll go. All right, I want to thank all my subscribers and viewers. I really appreciate everybody coming to visit and to spend a little time with me. and to watch and get a few inspirational ideas and just for some company. I like to be upbeat and to talk to everybody. You can go over to my Rotus Junk page. The link is down in the description box. I'm always talking about stuff over there. I'm posting a sneaky peek of the week or of the day, and it's like a little game. And at the end of the month, some people that have the highest scores will get a little prize. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoy this. Everybody have a great, great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.